How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And I'm here with a special guest, man. We got Elijah Pierce, man, coming off of his devastating knockout on Sweet Tay, man, Williams, man. So, yeah, man, I mean, he said a lot in the press conference. I definitely was listening to what he said. I thought he was going to do what he said he was going to do. And here we are, man. Here we are, man. Newly signed to Tony Jeter Promotions, I believe.
Yes,
And yeah, man, we're just gonna talk about, man. Tell the fans a little bit about yourself, man. Where you're from? How did you even get in the boxing?
Oh well, man, I'm 26 years old. I've been boxing since I was 6. I started with my father. He was a kickboxer in the 90s, early 90s, and and a martial artist. So it was just more so a father and son bonding experience. And then I just was naturally gifted. I would come and spend the summers with him, and as time went on, I always retained the information every year, and I just got better and better. I was when I was 6, I was punching straight, hitting like a man. I wasn't, tapping him, nothing like that. So, I was just naturally gifted, and then it just kind of continued on and so on and so forth. I played basketball. I was a really good basketball player, but I think when I got to my sophomore year in high school, my father, he just asked me. He was like, he felt like boxing would be more conducive to me because of my height. I'm only 5'8", and I ain't like I can jump high there or nothing like that. So, it was just I had to be realistic about it, and I went with boxing, and I'm glad I did. And I'm just a um I'd say a jack of trades, man. I like to put my hand in everything. I do music, I dance, I tumble, flip, I do art. I mean, I just like to dibble and dabble, man. Most importantly, I'm a father. I'm a father of two little girls. And man, I'm just continuing to stake my claim in this boxing profession, man, and make a name for myself, provide a life for my family, and that's always been my dream. I'm a real family oriented man. I really want to be the first millionaire in my family and secure my family's future.
Wow, man. So, with that saying, you saying you're a father now, and I feel like, being a father is definitely a change, could possibly change your life. How do you feel like being a father change your boxing career?
Oh man, I mean, well, really, it was honestly the reason I went pro. Honestly, because I had just came off the Olympic trials and everything, and I was pretty. I had some good motion behind me, but at the time, I wasn't. I kind of got scared because I didn't have necessarily the financial backing to really put myself in the position to shop myself the way I would like to. So, I had to get to work. Had to get a job and everything. I just, kind of psyched myself out and was like, man, I got to make sure I provide for my kid. That was most important to me. So, but of course, it inspired me, man. It gave me drive. It gave me structure, discipline. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, my child's gonna be here, and I gotta make sure I'm able to take care of her, and that was just what it was. And then recently, I ended up reconnecting with a old friend, and we began a relationship, and I ended up taking the responsibility of her daughter as well. So now that she's my daughter now, so it's just I'm blessed, man. I'm just blessed.
Dang. So yeah, man. With that being said, man, I mean, where you train at? Where are you training at? Where are you from? Where are you living at?
Oh yeah, I was born in Spencer, well Midwest City, Oklahoma, and that's where most of my boxing career originally was in Oklahoma, and then I eventually I had moved to Atlanta, Georgia when I was 6 or 7, and then I just been back and forth my entire life since then. But you know, currently right now I'm in Georgia right now in Gwinnett
Oh
County.
yeah. Okay then, yeah. So how's the Georgia scene? You know, with the fighters and sparring. I seen, and another thing I want to touch on too, man, which I think was, you know, very good, man. I see that you went from 135 all the way down to 122. I told DC Mike, I said that is a cheat code.
I
Because
mean,
it's hard to do. It's hard to do. You know, it's very hard to do. It's very difficult to do. I've had to make weight before. I know how difficult it can be. And for you to be knocking guys out at 135, and I said for him to be able to make that weight at 122, the writing's on the wall.
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like I said, it kind of adds to my story. You know, I've always been the underdog, and I've always took pride in that title because, you know, like I said, I haven't always had the money behind me. I've had to get everything I've gotten out the mud. You know, I've done everything, you know, just off the skin of my back, you know, and with my own support system. And I'm just so grateful for the people in my life, my parents, my, you know, all my close friends, my sponsors, you know what I'm saying? They're all just local, you know, and we're making it happen, you know, and when it comes to the weight, like I said, I just didn't have the knowledge of it. I was just fighting, man. Like I could just fight. And I knew I had power. I knew I had speed and I could box. I can really box. I know a lot of people, they haven't really seen me at my best. A lot of people, they have no idea how good I can box because I haven't necessarily had the opportunity to showcase it. Because I put my hands on you, I'm trying to get your ass up out of there.
And I seen that, man. I heard that, man. Can you touch on what you said in the press conference? First of all, you coming off your biggest performance, man. We got to talk about we got to talk about, you know, the elephant in the room. You know, you just coming off that Sweet Tay knockout. How did that fight come about? You know, how did you get offered that fight? And did you even think twice about taking that fight?
No, not at all. I mean, I've never really cared about opponents. To whatever is going to get me to a world title and get me the life that I've been deserving and craving, I don't give a shit. Like whoever is step in front of me in that ring, they're going to expect to fight, believe that. So I mean, really with that, my promoter, I had just signed with Tony, with Jetta Promotions, and you know that he's was mentioning to me he would like for me to be his premier fighter, and he was very vested into me. So, you know, he said, well, you know, pretty much prove yourself, and that's what I did. And I was like, okay, well, who you got? And they, you know, they brought a hometown kid. You can say he was 9-1, and I watched them and. I didn't really watch too much of them, but I watched them. See, because with me, I don't really pay it. I do pay attention to the skill, of course. I want to watch their dynamics and whatnot, but it was more so the mental. See, at first, when I first watched them, I thought Darren I was like, okay. I took him a little more serious until he kept talking. The more that he talked, the more he doesn't even know. I was figuring him out. The more he just kept running his mouth, kept, you know, it just was unrealistic on what he was saying. He was saying a lot of how he's, you know, he stays in the gym, he does this and does that and everything, but he's been at the ring for almost a year and a half, so it just wasn't adding up to me. And then just the way that he was speaking about himself, I'm like, okay, like, because I've been there. I'm a fighter myself, so I'm like, I'm just using my own experience to really understand what he's saying, and then
I'm trying to gauge what he's saying.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, he's full of shit. so I mean, pretty much after that, that's why I was just like, look, man, like you better be ready to die in there, dude, because I'm not playing with you.
Yo, and that's what I really want to touch on, man, because I told DC Mike that. Shout out to DC Mike for covering the whole show.
He's a good dude, man. Shout out to DC too. Straight up.
Yeah, shout out to DC Mike, man. That's my brother right there, man. But you know, he told me a lot, and he actually showed me some of the links in this fight, and that's how I kind of got amped up about this fight. You know what I'm saying? Wow. But I just when I seen that you did an interview, and you said I'm willing to go to a place that I don't think Sweet Tay's willing to go. and you really meant that, man. And I want you to touch on that. And what did you have to go to a dark place to get to this level and to do your strength and conditioning and to to get that knockout like that, man?
Absolutely. I mean, me, man, like I'm not one to hide who I am. I'm not one to hide really much about myself. I've always been more so open book. That's just one of them things about me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I went through a lot, man. My career thus far, but in my 6 years as a pro, it's been tough. It's been a tough ass road. I done been snaked by my former managers, I guess you could say. I went through stuff like that. I went through a divorce before.
Oh, like a divorce with your wife?
Yeah, my ex-wife. Yeah, I
Oh
went through a
wow!
divorce
So you
before.
had all of that in the last 6 years happen to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been tough, man. Of course, financial issues. Um, shit, just I mean, even I had a personal issue that happened right before this fight. Like literally a couple weeks. Whereas I even considered pulling out of the fight, but
No,
you know what?
what?
I actually had to. I talked it over with my parents, and I just decided to just push through, and I overcame, and I'm glad that I chose to. That part I kind of leave a little more discreet, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, I've always been an underdog. I've always went through the storm, but yet I've always continued to blossom, and I just thank God for the opportunities that He's continued to give me, because I won't give up, and I won't ever give up. I got too much riding on this, man. I literally, like I said, I got two kids. I got my own family, and ain't nobody gonna stop me from getting what's mine. Like nobody. I'm supposed to be on that top tier level with these guys that everybody's loving. Shakur, Devin, Tiafimo, Lomachenko, all them guys. Like I said, they were literally sitting next to me. I'm, fighting these guys. I'm going split decisions and everything else. Like with these guys, I deserve to be on that top level. I just didn't necessarily have the resources that everybody else had. But in spite of that, I'm still gonna make it, and nobody's gonna stop me from making it.
I see right now you're ranked number 39 in the world right now. You're ranked number on BoxRec has you ranked number 39 in the world. How
Yeah.
does that feel to be, in the top 50 in the world in your weight class? And I'm talking about a pretty stacked weight class. I mean, you're at 122?
Yep.
So you're at 122. There's 1,200 fighters at 122 pounds in the world.
Yeah.
You're ranked in this, you're almost getting to the single digits. I mean,
I
you're
think
knocking
about
on
one
the
to two more
door.
fights, we there. We top 15. One to two more fights, we top 15, and we breaking in. And I'm telling you, I really believe by the end of 2023, I will be a world champion. Like I'll undoubtedly be a world champion.
So I see leading up into the Williams the Sweet Tay fight. I seen that you was 14-2 with 12 big wins by way of knockout. How do you feel about those two losses, and what have you learned from those two losses?
Well, like I said, I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm not gonna make excuses. Like I said, I lost. They on my record. It is what it is. But what I will say is that both losses were instances where I was mentally defeated by myself before I even got in. And
Oh,
that's just one of those things about the sport. This is the sport it's unforgiving. You have to be whole in that ring, man, because it's too much. You're risking your life in there. And both times, the first one, like I said, I would attribute that to bad management. Because I was
against Giovanni.
yeah, yeah, against
How did that
Pereira.
fight go? I seen he was 11-0. You lost a unanimous decision. I mean,
Yeah, he was a
how did
big. He
that
was a
fight
big
go?
guy too. That was a big dude.
For
I
real?
ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that dude was like, I'm pretty sure, because I know he didn't even make weight for that fight, and
What did y'all fight at? What was the fight scheduled at?
it was at one. I think it was at 130,
Wow.
and he didn't make weight, but we went ahead and fought him anyway. But yeah, man. And then he dropped me in the first round and everything, and
For real?
it was a 10 round fight, but I got back up, shook that shit off, and then I came straight at him the whole fight. I mean, it was all I could do. The dude, he was just he was just too big though. I mean, I can tell like my punches, I was hurting him with a lot of body shots, but I didn't have just that, that extra oomph in order to really damage him.
That 130, man, that's a different beast right there, man.
Yeah, and he's currently fighting at 135 right now. So I mean, it just goes to show, how
and that's what I told DC Mike. I said, DC Mike, this guy's knocking out guys at 135 pounds. You knocked out guys at 130 pounds. And so for you to be able to make 122 could possibly put you at the top echelon of fighters, I feel like. And I feel like a lot of people haven't seen you before. Smash that. One thing first, you guys, smash that like button, man. Come on, man. We got to get these likes up. We got Elijah Pierce, man. He's out here, man. He's on the live stream, man, and he's coming forward, man. He's coming forward right now, man. So with that being said, like I said, we touched on the 2 losses. I heard you from what another YouTuber told me that you had got knocked out, but when I looked at your resume, you never got knocked out, so you just got knocked down.
Yeah,
okay,
I got
that's all. But you finished all your fights.
Oh, absolutely.
To make that correction.
You gonna have to kill. You gonna have to really get locked to get me out, dude. I'm not no easy win. You never gonna hear about me being an easy win from nobody.
So what was it, Giovanni? Did you feel like he had a better jab, or do you feel like he was just bigger, or do you feel like that wasn't a weight class? I think
he was just simply bigger. That was just really it. He was just simply bigger, and I just feel like at that time, it was a bad decision. He was more older and he had more experience than me at that time.
Okay,
I can tell from my skill set now to then is non-comparable. So I mean, it's just one of those things. You can feel like you're ready to jump in and feel like you're ready to just fight. But there's a reason we have management, have promoters, and everything else. Is to steer us in the right direction. But you have to have trust in those individuals, and those individuals have to have the best intentions for you, and pure intent. So at the end of the day, it's a lesson learned, and I moved on from it, and I'm gonna continue to grow. And as far as my second loss, like I said, I at that time, that was probably the worst time of my life thus far. So, but
was that around the time you were going through your divorce and everything like that, or?
Yeah.
I see you put a lot of emphasis on the worst time of your life.
Man, I mean, it was hard. So, but even that fight, like I said, we fought to a majority decision, and I probably trained for 2 weeks for that fight. Like realistically, I probably trained for about 2 weeks for that fight because I was just going through so much. I mean, I ended up getting pink eye. I ended up getting the flu. I mean, it was just a lot of things, but once again, we didn't have the knowledge. Like I really shouldn't even fought the fight, but I was told that I couldn't get out of the fight.
Ooh.
So I went ahead and fought anyway.
That's a dicey situation. A lot of fight fans out there, smash that like button, y'all. A lot of fight fans out there do not know the backside and the dark side of boxing, man. It sounds like you've actually went through the mill. You've been run through the mill. You've had shady promoters. You've had shady managers. You pretty much and now you're. I feel like you're crawling your way to the top again, man. And I feel like 122. I feel like at 122, you're definitely here to stay. When I heard your story, I was like, I got to get this dude on an interview, man. Because I knew you were going to win the fight. I already knew you got to check my live stream out I did with DC Mike. And this is for the fans out there. Oh, you saying what I said? Did you see what I said, though?
Yeah, and you were really the first person that I've seen that actually took a logical assessment of it. And I was like, okay. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, I get people gonna support their hometown fighter.
Oh yeah.
Respect. That's all respect to them. But like I said, you gotta look at this logically, man. Like I said, and that's why I told this kid he's not on my level. You're not on my level, man. Like I said, I've been through it. I've already been here before. That's what I'm. And then on top of that, this is redemption for me. Like me getting to the top is redemption. So like that's why I knew I said you gonna have to go somewhere that I don't think you're ready to go, because I didn't already had a taste of it. I had got signed to Lou DiBella in 2019. You
Oh, a
know,
lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that, man. He's
yeah,
a big time promoter, man. What happened with that?
that's what happened. At that second fight that I lost, I ended up. That was just supposed to be my homecoming. I had just got signed, literally just got signed. That was my first fight after I got signed. I was supposed to have a homecoming fight at home just to celebrate my signing and everything, and then I was supposed to fight on TV in like 2 months after that. It was all set up,
Ah,
all planned out, everything. But you know, we kind of made a mistake of choosing a bad opponent because you know Sagawa, the African that I fought, lost to the second fight. He was, you know, he wasn't no slouch. He was a good fighter.
oh, he was pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely a good fighter. Like he's almost beaten some very very credible fighters, including like Abraham Nova, and some other guys at high weights. You know, I think Abraham Nova was fighting at 35 or 30 at that time. So you know and we fought at 26. So it's not like he was a small guy, anything like that. Like he was a credible guy, and you know, but all in all, like I said, it was just a lot of bad decisions that were made, and then on top of all the drama and everything else, you know, that attributed to the loss. But man, at the end of the day, I'm just blessed to be here. I'm so happy and grateful for my team now. Shout out to my manager, Trifin Petrov, and my other manager, Jesse Tanksley, my promoter, Tony, and his wife, Kristen, and just my whole team, man, my dad, my coach, Philippe, my coach, Aaron, and just my mom, man. My mom, she's the dopest. Like I just appreciate my whole team, man.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask you is, man, about I just wanted to touch on the fight, with you and Sweet Tay, man. You know, leading up into that fight, there was a lot of back and forth going on. I feel like it was. Do you feel like that was the biggest fight of your career so far?
I don't know. I can't really say. I would say that. I mean, I more so feel like every fight that I have at this point is my biggest fight. That's just more so how I feel. You know, as long as I continue to do what I do, like my biggest fight is always gonna be within myself. I truly believe,
Okay.
man. That's what I believe. As long as I do not let myself defeat me, nobody's gonna be able to beat me, especially at 122. I'm literally
That's what I was gonna ask you, man. I really wanted to ask you this really important question, man.
mm-hmm.
How do you feel making 122? Is it easy? Is it hard? Do you feel like you can't be at that? How long do you see yourself being at 122? You're a growing man.
Oh, I mean, it really depends. I mean, it wasn't too hard. Of course, it did require. Well, no, I can't really say that because I made it pretty quick. I honestly,
Okay.
like my metabolism is very good, so I was able to actually make it pretty good. I felt strong. I felt great. I mean, it wasn't, I made, what was I, 120, 121.4.
Okay.
So I mean, that's pretty good. It wasn't like I was just right on and everything.
Right
Like
at
I really,
0.9. Yeah.
yeah. I probably could have, been 120 or even less than that. It just depends,
Yeah, so with that being said, man, what's the future hold for you, man? What's your next fight looking like, man? And where do we go from here, man? Where does Elijah Pierce go from here, man, after this devastating knockout in Sweet Tay's hometown?
Well, man, like I said, I'm hoping I'm trying to have a hometown fight in my hometown of Oklahoma. I haven't fought there in years, so I would like to be able to put on a little stay busy fight for them sometime in November. So I'm hoping that'll pan through. But if not, my next big fight, possibly for another title, will be in February. I think it'll be on, of course, on another Jeter Promotions card. I'm hoping to get Dominique Crowder from out of Baltimore, because I called him out on Instagram. That boy, he don't want
what he doesn't want. I know Dominique Crowder, man. I've interviewed him here on this channel, man.
I'll beat his ass. I will beat that boy.
Damn, man. So I mean, how did this come about, man? I've seen him fight on some local shows as well. He is an undefeated prospect. He's been in there with the likes of I believe he sparred Javante Davis. He sparred the Gary Russell brothers, I believe, and he's been in some of these camps. So I mean, how do you feel, man? Like, how do you feel? Like, you know, what made you want to call him out? And are y'all in the same weight class? And how could this fight possibly come about?
Oh yeah, he's at 122, and you know, he's tall. You know, he's like 6 foot, and I mean, I like fighting tall fighters. I be laying their ass out all the time. So it's nothing to me. So but yeah, and even as far as sparring, I mean, I've sparred Javante several times. I even have a clip on my page, on my Instagram of me sparring Javante.
How was that work?
Oh yeah, I mean, one thing I ain't gonna lie, we kind of had smoke. I ain't gonna lie for a little while.
But be honest though, like what happened? No, like be honest.
I ain't gonna never cap about it. That his accreditations that come to his power, yeah, like that motherfucking hit. He's definitely the hardest.
Are you for real?
Ring with for sure.
Are you for real?
No, he's definitely the hardest puncher I've ever been in the ring with for sure. Like that boy had my head movement game on 100. Like I was trying to flip goddamn everything. That boy can hit. I ain't gonna lie. But it was great work. You know, we had great work.
But you got power too, though.
Oh yeah. And but see, and the thing about him is that he's big as hell. Like I did not understand he was that. I didn't know he was really that big. Like that dude is huge.
What do you think? What do you mean? Like he's walking around maybe 150, 160, or what do you think?
Definitely. That boy be walking around big as hell, at least 160, 165 for a fact.
So when you were sparring him, he was getting ready for a fight, or?
No, I think he was just getting some work.
Just trying to get some work.
Yeah, he was just chilling. I could tell because his neck was extra swole. So he was big. And then I got to work with Gary Russell too.
Which one? Which one? There's about 4 of them.
Big Gary, the oldest brother. Yeah,
126.
Yeah, the 126. I fought Antonio Russell in the amateurs. I beat him in the amateurs at one of my old coaches' tournaments.
Oh, that's the brother that just lost, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Did you watch the fight? I mean, I know y'all were at the same weight class.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, hey, it happens. You just he fought a game opponent. That opponent was slick, man. He was slick.
Yeah, and I mean, with that being said, I mean, when can we see you with some of these marquee names, man? We want to see Elijah Pearson there with the big names, man. I feel like you're just one fight away from a very named opponent and possibly a TV date. How do you feel about that? Because you said you were ready to be on TV before you lost to Segway, remember?
Yeah, I've supposed to have been on TV at least 5 times.
And that's what I was telling DC Mike. I said this guy is 14-2 with 12 knockouts, and then he's going down to 122. There's only a matter of time before this guy is on TV. And that's what I said to him personally. And so I feel like, what do you feel like you may be 1 or 2 fights away from possibly being on there? So your next fight will not be televised, or you don't know yet?
I'm not sure yet. You never know what's in store, but I know it'll be on the Jetta Promotions card. So I'm thinking that after this one, after the next one in February, will probably be the TV fight. And I'm looking to fight any undefeated fighter, whoever is willing to step up against the Wolf. Hey, like I'm ready. I'm gonna be ready. They're gonna have a fight on their hands. For sure.
So you're saying right now at 122, you want all the motherfucking smoke?
Absolutely, all of it. I'm telling you, ain't nobody going to fuck with me at that weight. I've researched this weight class for at least the last 2 months.
Yeah,
the only guy that's real to me.
Anui.
Huh?
Anui's at your weight class.
He's at 18, but he's still at 118.
Oh, he's at 118. Okay.
Yeah, at 122. The only guy that's really nice like that is Stephen Fulton. And then
have you ever sparred him? Do you know him?
No, I haven't. not as of yet. But and Rais Salim too. Rais Salim is pretty good. I sparred Rais Salim in Vegas.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You got that work? How was that work?
Oh, it was definitely good. And the funny part, you know what? I ain't gonna speak on that. Just
man, go ahead and speak on the joint, man. Go ahead and speak on that joint. You got something to say, man. Go ahead and speak on that joint.
I would like to have that fight too. I would definitely love to have that fight. I'll say that. If they was to offer me that fight tomorrow, I'm definitely let's do.
So you like what you see out of that when you and Aleem sparred. You liked what you seen in the sparring sessions.
Absolutely.
Wow, man, it was like that, man.
Like I said, man, anybody at 122 is going to have a problem on their hands with me. I'm finna take over that whole damn division. That's why I'm even called. That's why I want Crowder next. Anybody who can get me that solidification as a top dog, it's over with.
Dang, man. So, man, I just feel like, man, it's exciting, man. The next time you have your fight date announced, man, I'll get another interview with you around that time. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure, man, interviewing you today, man. We was burning like hell, man, and man, I feel like a lot of people might watch this joint, man. I mean, so right now, are you trying to make it in the top 10, or you feel like you're trying to make it, your next fight? I feel like this fight and maybe your next fight is almost not a stay busy fight, but almost like trying to get you to that elite level, to that single digit ranking.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you'd be right.
And so with that being said, man, let all the fans know where they can follow you at, man. It was, like I said, it was a pleasure interviewing you today, and let all the fans know where they can follow you at, and where they could possibly see you fight at next, so they can possibly be on standby for that, man.
For sure, man. Like I said, once again, I appreciate you too, bro. Appreciate you reaching out for the interview. Like I said, much respect for sharing your platform with me. Like I said, you guys can follow me at Elijah_Pierce. On YouTube as well at The Wolf, Elijah Pierce, WXXLF. Man, like I said, my next fight is probably going to be in February. Like I said, on another Jetta Promotions card in Baltimore. That's why, like I said, that's why it kind of made sense for me to fight, old boy, because he's from Baltimore. So, why not? But, either way, if it's not him, we'll get somebody else highly rated. Like I said, I'm out to prove a point. And I just want to let, everybody out there know that, it's the Wolf here, man. It's a new dog in town. I'm ready to take this shit over. Ain't nobody fucking with me at 122. And that's just point blank period. And I got the action to back it up. So, you got an
80%. You got an 80% KO ratio, man. I think a lot of people need to think about that power, man. I just want to end with this, man. I just feel like, a lot of people don't know about you right now, but I feel like for you to fight at 135 and for you to fight at 130 and for you to knock guys out, okay? And some of these guys were undefeated, you know what I'm saying? And so for you to knock some of these guys out and for you to go down, to shrink down to 122, I feel like, man, to be honest with you right now, man, I just feel like the sky's the limit for you, man. I haven't, like I said, I haven't got to see too much of your boxing ability because you got the guy out of there so quick. I mean, it was so quick. And it's just like, I was just like, dang, I didn't get to see if he has a really strong jab. I know you like to mix it up in the inside. But yeah, man, with that being said, I just feel like, you're an exciting fighter. You're young. And I just feel like a lot of fight fans right now, man, could really look forward to seeing these knockouts that you deliver, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And of course, a lot of people, they tend to focus on the losses, because I have those 2 losses. So people try to discredit me a lot. But, when it comes with the territory, it is what it is. I wear my I don't even call them losses. I wear my lessons with pride. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, they made me into the dog I am today. So if that's why I say to anybody who feels that way, that feel like I'm not like that, then test it out. Get in the ring with me. I promise you don't think otherwise after your ass is on the ground.
Man, I cannot wait, man. You gotta let me know, man. As soon as the next fight date is here, man. I tried to hit up Crowder for an interview too, man. He said he's ready to start camp. So I'm pretty sure he's got a fight coming up, man. But I would love to see both of you guys mix it up, man. Like I said, I seen him at a local show, and I seen him, get a unanimous decision win.
He was at my show too. He was at my fight.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I called him to the ring or whatever, but he said he claimed that he had already left or whatever. But I guess I hit him in the DMs too. Like I said, that boy don't want no smoke with me at all. But it's all good. Much respect. To him, let do his thing, whatever. All I said to him that at the end of the day, because it ain't none of this shit personal with me. It's like guys get offended and get all mad when you approach them about a fight and everything. It ain't personal for me. This is business, man. I'm trying to the same way he trying to grow. I'm trying to grow too, and I'm hungry. I'm real deal hungry. I done been through them trenches before, so you gotta get 8 for me to get there. Your ass gotta go. You gotta go.
Yo, man, it's so lit, man. I cannot wait for the next fight, man. Man, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. But thank you so much for coming to Corey Lee Boxing, man. And with that being said, this is Corey Lee Boxing, and you've definitely been hit with another banger. Peace out, y'all, man. Later, y'all. Later, bro.